I'm Charlotte from the Stone Specialist, and I'm here today at the White Kitchen Company in Northamptonshire to speak to one of their official partners, Max Cunningham of Rock Revelations, about the English Heritage Kitchen Project. Thanks, Max, for taking the time to speak to us today. Tell us a bit more about Rock Revelations.
So I'm the operations manager at Rock Revelations. We've been doing this for over 20 years. Our client basis is very high-end sort of bespoke manufacturers where we do some really beautiful materials, all completely mixed of natural products like this, dectons, ceramic and quartz and engineered stone.
How did you get involved in this particular project here at the White Kitchen Company?
We've worked really closely with the White Kitchen Company for over 10 years nearly, and we've done so many displays and projects with them. But Christopher came to us about this new project with English Heritage where he wanted to make a really beautiful new display showing off what they can do and showing off what we could do.
So all the products in here are natural stone in this particular display?
Correct. So we've got Calacatta Oro, which is an Italian marble, and then we've got the Avocatus Green, which is a Brazilian quartzite. So we have got a nice mix of materials from complete other sides of the world, where we have done some funky edge profiles with a DuPont edge, and with the full splashbacks where we've really made it work beautifully.
So what tooling and machinery do you guys use for, the edging and obviously the manufacturing of these particular worktops?
So I've got a GMM and a Breton saws, who are both obviously Italian. And then I have two Intermax CNCs, where obviously this is where all the work is in the edge profiling in this job, which is all on the Intermax CNC, and all of the tooling is also Italian de Monte, where we've done all the edge profiling. Where this particular piece of quartzite was so hard that the machine was struggling, the tools were struggling, but luckily it worked out really well and it's finished and looks beautiful.
So having spoken about the machinery that you use, obviously with it being a natural stone as opposed to an engineered stone, but obviously you use both, silicosis is obviously quite an important topic, especially for fabricators.
Correct.
Did you already have things in place since it's become more prevalent, or is it that it's something you've actually started to work on more recently?
We've had things in place. We've wet polished for 10 years. My guys wear masks. Everything is obviously on CNC machines, so you've got the doors and water. But we have increased the amount that we're doing. We've just bought the masks from Stonegate. The Optical Swiss Air masks, which are obviously pumping in clean air to protect the guys working directly there. We have water walls, which we're currently looking to upgrade. So yeah, we are doing everything that we can. Obviously the other engineered quartz suppliers are trying to minimise silica in their stones, but you don't know what really there is. But we are trying everything we can to make it work and be much safer.
So how difficult was it to book match this particular piece?
Wasn't easy, because essentially we needed a second slab just for this one small section to make it work. But what we do is we do a service where we take pictures of the slabs, we lay the templates over in AutoCAD, so then we can match the pieces perfectly, which we've actually done throughout the kitchen, just to make sure that we don't make an error. They can have a look at it and they can decide, oh, actually, I don't like that. Can we change it? So it was difficult, but it was easy enough to do.
So who specified this material and why was it specified?
It was a mixture of the White Kitchen Company and us. When they approached us about doing the English Heritage, personally, it made sense to have natural material. It kind of had to be for this sort of style of kitchen. So they went down to Michael at Imperial Stone. I think they had a rough idea, but when you get to Imperial Stone, you've got so many beautiful slabs in stock, it's quite hard that you're guided massively by Michael, and then you get the story of where the materials are from, and then you can see what he's done by trying to make them different, but greens are massively in, and this material is. I'd have this in my own house, yeah, it guided, but also had the idea already in his head that it had to be natural to tie in with the English Heritage Collection.
Were there any parts of the brief that were new to Rock Revelations?
I wouldn't say it was new, but one thing we were worried about was doing the edging on this quartzite, because quartzite is so dense, it's so hard, it's not easy to work with. But to do the edging the way we did, it wasn't easy. It took a lot of planning, because it took double the amount of time that it would have done on the marble, because the marble was so soft, it just glides through on the CNC. But doing it on this, the amps are flying so high, we're doing it so much slower, the tooling's getting burned, but we made it work. And that's something that our factory is so skilled at doing. Our staff are so good that they can make, when we know something's going to be a struggle, they can make it work.
With the prevalence of social media, obviously Rock Revelations do a lot on Instagram. Are you finding that it's acting as more of a shop window for your clients?
It is a shop window. I think it's the modern marketing way now. You kind of, you look at these younger people that are coming in who want to buy kitchens. They're going onto social media and clicking on Rock Revelations Instagram to see, oh, actually, are these guys legit? Do they do beautiful things? Because it is a shop. It's an online shop, and it really shows off your company. It's not like the days of just clicking on a website. They want to see the interactive side where you do. And I know there's a lot of fabricators and kitchen companies that are doing exactly what we do to make it look more realistic and show the real part of what we do.
Are you finding that when customers are looking through like your Instagram, Pinterests, things like that, that they're then specifying their kitchen or their worktops based on what they're seeing?
Yeah, they definitely do. I know that I've put a couple of jobs on social media from material, again, from Michael Imperial Stone, and I probably sold that same material 10 times over, and it's just because it's on our social media page. And I think it works. It does work in that aspect.
Would you say then that would be like your most popular material to work with, purely because people are seeing it then specifying
because it's not just us that's using that material, it's going everywhere. You're seeing it in magazines, in showrooms, and that is the driver for some of those materials. But you've got Calicato Oro, which has always been popular for hundreds of years, and then you have it right here. It's just, people are going to have it. But when you've got something different like this will fly off the shelves. Now this is in a showroom, it's unique, it's different, it's bold, but it works.
Is there a product that you're seeing a greater demand for at the minute? Whether that's a natural stone, whether that's, engineered. Is there anything particular at the minute that you think everybody's specifying?
It's a mixture between two materials. Obviously, the ceramics, Decton, Atlas Plan, and other materials like that are massively increasing demand. But again, a new trend, it's coming back in, is natural stone. The world's been so dominated by engineered quartz stones that having these natural materials coming back in is just so good. And it's so much nicer to see these sort of materials, thinking, wow, this comes out of the ground. When I first started working for Rock, I was sweeping the floors and I was seeing Baltic browns and colonial creams. And then now I'm seeing slabs that are like this, and they're beautiful. And you see, wow, that comes out of the ground. I see some fusion. Wow, it's crazy. Blues, greens, golds. How's that come out of the ground? It's crazy. So yeah, I would say natural materials is probably the biggest thing increasing at the moment.
Do you find, obviously, with natural materials, they need more of an upkeep than the engineered materials? And how do you address that with customers?
You're honest with them. I have clients that come in who are looking at marbles, and they come in with their kids, and I'm just thinking, right, is this the right product for you? But I think if they're fully made aware of what the upkeep, the looking after, being careful, they will. And then as long as I know that I've told them that and what the do's and don'ts and being careful, they'll still go for it. There's only one slab. Once that slab's in, you're not getting another slab, because they're so unique. There's only a block coming out that's going to be the same, and that's it. It's special. I think that's what's so nice about natural material. That no one else is really going to have the same slab that you've got in your kitchen. It's completely unique.
So with that in mind, which do you prefer to work with? Are you more of an engineered stone kind of company, or do you prefer the natural side of things?
I enjoy natural to look at it. I don't mind working with it. Some slabs can have their issues with vents and fissures. I work predominantly with ceramic materials, so we're used to the hard, brittle, the struggle that you can go through with it. But we've been so dominant in the market for the last 10 years in those products that quartz is very easy for us. This isn't too difficult. Us guys are skilled. We don't worry about too much coming around the factory, to be honest now.
Potentially quite a controversial way of wording it, but do you think that the end users are as in the know as they should be about problems that come from, having silica within the worktops and the manufacturing of it?
I don't think they know. They're seeing things in the press and the media where it's not actually, they think it's going to affect them, but it's not. It's us lot working with it directly that have the risk. And as long as these owners of fabrication centres are all, looking after their staff and making sure they're safe, there is nothing to worry about. In that sense, even in natural stone, you've got silica. In marble, in quartzites, everything has it. But it's making sure that you're safe and your staff are safe for obviously in the future and most importantly now.
Do you think it's potentially going to be something that people start to look at? Do you think that end users are going to start saying, well, I'll start purchasing this product because I know it's been manufactured safely?
I think there's an aspect to it, yes, but I think the market now is dominated with Chinese quartz, where you don't know what you're getting, you don't know what's in it. Where I still think it comes down to money and budget. That I think people will pay for what they can afford and what they want without having to worry about how it's made, etc.
Do you think it's quite important for the industry to have a representative or like an organisation that is promoting things such as obviously the safety of workers?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it helps someone like the WFF where I think it has the potential to do some real good, especially with what's going on in the industry with silica, especially in Australia and America, where I don't think it's the right way of doing it. I think it's down to us as a fabricator to make sure our staff are safe and I'm safe. And once it's in, it's fine, but we've got to make sure it's safe. Just banning something isn't the right way to do it, personally. And I think most people would also agree.
Here at the White Kitchen Company, you are an approved partner.
Correct.
So what does that mean for Rock Revelations?
We've done all of the worktops in the showroom. We quote all of their jobs, and we're very friendly with the owners because we've established that relationship over the last few years, where we've really tried to make us know how good we are, and we support each other. We give good pricing, and they get a good product from us at the end, and that's really important for us. And it's nice to have someone so local and so close. With a beautiful showroom like this is, they're also doing so well.
So aside from the showroom and things that you've got going on with this company, what other projects have you got in the pipeline at the moment?
We've got lots of really cool projects coming up. It's hard for me to think of one particular project that we do, because I sometimes sit there on a Friday night and I see my week and I'm going through the images of the jobs we've done that week, and I sometimes think, wow, that's come out of the factory all in a week.
Yeah.
It's mad. I think this was one of my favourite ones just because of the materials chosen. There's not many people that are going to have and pay for this sort of material in a showroom and go for such beautiful materials. I think that was a key thing, this project, to have something unique, different, and really thought well about what they were going to use. And it was good for us as well. It was fun. It was definitely a fun project.
Is there anything, any like projects or material or anything like that on like your bucket list that you want to do that you haven't yet done?
I'm quite interested in a project that we've got coming up, which is going to be quite exclusive. I can't say exactly who it's for, and exactly what it is, but we are cladding some hot tubs, which is something completely different to what we've done before, completely bespoke, all a ceramic material, which is going to be different, interesting, and fun, I think. So that will be an exciting one.
And finally, what worktop do you have in your own kitchen?
laminate. But I have a lot of I have a lot of stone within the house.
Yeah.
This is I had the offcuts of this. It's my 2 bedside tables.
Amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't not. I liked it so much. I went with the green bed.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, Max.
Thank you as well.